What the fuck is baiting grenades? So you might remember my video I did back in September about grenade management and how you should hold on to your smoke grenades as a CT and flashes and grenades and Molotovs for when you're actually pressured enough that you need to use it, and use it at specific times so that you buy time for your teammates to rotate to you, buy time for your teammates to help you and slow down your opponent's offense. Now, what the counter is to that is baiting grenades out. So to elicit the response from the CTs, where you want the CTs to start using all their grenades, all their utility, all their resources earlier in the round, that's where this comes into play. So as a terrorist, you can do this by using your own grenades to bait out the response from your opponent, or to pressure them using your body as a resource and your gunfire as the pressure. So let's say I have a good spawn and I'm a terrorist and I have a long spawn, and my position is to hang outside long and listen for information on a default. What I might choose to do is, early in the round, I might come over towards long and I might double flash over long, because this will elicit a response from the CTs. What they'll do is the CTs will start throwing their smoke and their flashes over top to counter my flashes, as if they think that I'm doing a fast A attack. But in reality, I'm just throwing those flashes, coming back to spawn and rebuying the flashes, and then I'll be able to play the round with 2 flashes still, but I've wasted some of the CT's nades early on in the round. Now, I can bait CT's nades out at long by doing a smoke over top. If I wait a few seconds, let the CTs get set up, and do a smoke over top like that, do a Molotov like this, and then flash twice, just to say, hey, I'm here, use your shit on me right now. Smoke the doors, Molotov, nade towards me, counter flash, use all your nades and stuff around me, because I am coming and I want to attack you, okay? The CTs will start countering by throwing a smoke grenade like this, for example. They might counter flash like this or like this. Maybe they throw a grenade at you at the doors. Like, there's a whole range of things that the CTs might do off of the back of that. Or maybe the person back here might throw flashes this way or this way to help the long player. This is one way to bait nades, just by pretending that you're doing an execution. And this looks exactly like a normal long A execute would look like. So by one person using one person's set of nades, you might draw out flashbangs and grenades from 2 different CTs. Now you can do the same thing, apply the same logic anywhere you go on the map. So you might remember my video where I was talking about using your utility before you die. This player who just did this long fake to bait out grenades at long, he will now turn into the entry fragger, and you'll send him in first because he's got nothing else. If you remember how I was talking about smoking over mid doors, flashing over mid, mollying the stairs and flashing stairs, this will bait a reaction from the CTs. If the CTs are playing cat, they'll use their counters to stop an attack from happening here. If they hear all this going down, what the CTs might do is they might choose to use their smoke early in the round to block off the bricks. If the enemies are using their smokes early into the round, though, the CTs are using their smokes early in the round, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to actually attack their bomb site. For example, if you're going into the B bomb site, what's easier? Is it easier for you to go into the B bomb site when there's a smoke up in your face? Or is it easier to walk out when it's just clear as day and you can see everything and you can post up with an op, you can walk out, you can run out, you can do whatever? Well, obviously the latter is better. It's easier to go out if you can see everything, and your opponent, if they peek you, they'll have like a small window of opportunity to kill you before they have to hide and reposition themselves. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fake out and make sure that the CTs are using their smokes early into the round. And one way to do that is, let's say, on a normal round, 2 CTs go towards B, 3 towards A. Generally speaking, sometimes you'll see a 2-1-2 type of setup, but generally speaking, there'll be 2 smokes that you have to deal with at B. Once you count 1-2 smokes are gone, that's going to be your window of opportunity to attack the B bomb site. Now you have to figure out how the CTs are using their smokes. Maybe one person pre-smokes the tunnels early in the round, and the other person saves their smoke. If they pre-smoke, there's only one other smoke you have to deal with. So to find out how they kind of react to that, you'll kind of have to play around and find out what they do. Maybe they re-smoke the tunnels and stop that. Maybe they save it so that if you're doing a mid-B, they use the smoke on B doors just to hold this kind of attack. So if they do this smoke here, then it might be easier for you to attack upper tunnels, but you still want to bait the smoke out. What you can do to bait that smoke out, for example, would be to smoke CT spawn, and then having a guy come out middle and just pressure this guy and fake as if you want to do a mid to B. You don't have to commit. You just have to come here and pressure him and shoot and peek and make him see you and make him see the CT spawn smoke. So that's indicative of a mid to B. He sees your body, you're attacking him, and he doesn't want to peek you because if he dies, it's going to be really bad for his teammate, leaving him alone in the bomb site. So right there, that might pressure him into using the smoke here and sitting back. Now that they've used their B smokes, it's going to be a lot easier to do a B split or a B hit just straight through the tunnels. So baiting out smokes early in the round is a very strong tactic. Again, if you're going up catwalk and the CTs have already smoked this area here and they're out of smokes because they early smoked long, they smoked here, and you did a long fake and the guy who was at long uses smoke on long doors, it means that they don't have any smokes left at A. So now if you wanted to do an A hit, whether it be you use smokes on the bomb site, like let's say you smoke here, and you smoke here as well, and you push up to the bomb site and you get the plant, it's going to be easy for you to get there. But it's going to be easy for you to get here anyways, even if you are smoked. So let's talk about if you just want to do a dry execute. Well, it's going to be a lot easier for you to just peek out dry if the enemies don't have smokes up. If the enemy smoke this position here, generally speaking, as you're pushing through that smoke, they'll be able to kill one of you, hide, reposition themselves, wait for their teammate to come help you, and then they can peek after like flashbangs, and they can peek, double peek together type of thing. So you want to bait all of these reactions out from the CTs early in the round, so that later in the round it's going to be much easier to attack them. Going out long doors late in the round is a very strong tactic on Dust 2, but if you're smoked out here, the CT can be playing any range of positions. For example, you could be playing close to the doors, you can be playing on the blue bin, you could be playing long just in the pit passively, maybe they're playing pit and blue bin and they're doing a crossfire setup, and it's going to be very difficult to break the setup. But if you're able to peek out and have a guy post up, for example at this position here, and then one person jumps out to this position, and then he can come and he can throw a flashbang maybe towards pit, and people can push out and jump into the pit. It's going to be much easier for you to do this kind of coordinated execute if the enemies haven't smoked you off. So using your grenades as resources to bait out your opponent's grenades, or your body as a resource and peeking and pressuring them with gunfire, and by peeking them, it's going to bait out your opponent's grenades earlier into the round, and it's going to allow you to do an easier execution later in the round, because you're not going to have to worry about running through smokes, running through fire, getting grenaded or flashbanged back. So one thing to understand, know how the enemies are set up. They have to be split up across the map, 2B, 3A normally. If there's 2B, count the smokes. If there's 3A, count the smokes. Once they've used the 3 smokes towards A, that's only if you round up a minute of smokes. 17 seconds for a smoke grenade, let's round that to 20 seconds that the smoke is there for, okay? 20 seconds per smoke, 3 smokes, that's only a minute. You still have 40 seconds to work with after all their smokes are gone. So use that information, use that knowledge to your advantage, and understand how to bait out the smoke grenades from your opponents, and make sure that it's safe for you to actually execute a strategy. It's stupid to execute through a smoke or a Molotov if you don't have to. If you can bait it out early, you can do it that way. If you can keep your opponent's economy low, where they're only able to buy armor and a rifle and maybe a grenade flash or a smoke flash, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to actually attack the bomb site. But even if they have Molotov, smoke flash, and nade, bait out their things early on so that it's going to be easier for you to attack their bomb sites. Anyways, I hope this video helped. If it did, remember to subscribe. Peace.